everyone, it's me again, and welcome to Faith's Faces. If you are new to my channel, first of all, welcome to my little corner of the internet. My name's Faith Grenade, and I put makeup videos here on YouTube. See that subscribe button? It's right down there. Just hit it for me right now. If you're new here, this is Faith's Faces, where I do a makeup tutorial, and I've got a pretty interesting one for you guys today. It is remotely similar to the one I did last time. I've just been into the red eyes and black lips lately. I don't know what it is, but this is what we're going for. Doing some nice nose bridge action. And basically what I wanted to do here, one of my viewers actually commented on one of my videos and challenged me to use the Violet Voss Holy Grail palette in a video. More specifically, she challenged me to use all of these like reddy shades down here, and I was like, girl, challenge accepted. I had decided to go ahead and create an Avant Garde look that is very along the lines of my style, but this particular Avant Garde look is very easy. So it's a way for you to kind of get that supermodel editorial kind of different eye look without necessarily having to be like pro level status, because some of these like glittery invisible cut crease craziness, like some of them I can't even do. So I was like, let me get an avant-garde look together that is accessible, that pretty much anybody can accomplish. So this is what we're going for today. I already showed you, but I'll show you again just to be sure. Nice fun times. Super easy, doesn't take long at all, and if you want to learn how to do it, just keep on watching, baby. First I'm going to take my Sonia Kashuk 109, and I'm going to take the shade Transition, that one right there, which is a transition shade. Go figure. And I'm going to take this, I'm going to put it very lightly into the upper crease area like so. Putting shadow in the nose bridge can be a little bit tricky, especially if you have deep set eyes, but it can also look really cool. So I'm going to take the shade Wine and Dine, which is that one, because I was challenged to use some of the reddy shades in this palette. So I'm going to take Wine and Dine on this e.l.f. brush that is not labeled, but they were selling them at the BX for, they were on clearance, so I got it at such a steep discount. I was like, score. And we're gonna kind of connect that into the transition shade up here and carry it down a small bit, but not too much. So then I'm gonna take the same 109 and I'm gonna take Hashtag, which is that one right there. It's bright, vibrant, kind of tangerine-y orange color. I'm just going to dip my 109 into that, and I'm just going to go over the whole shoot and match over here, kind of between the transition shade and the wine color, and we're just going to help blend that out a little bit. And we're trying to kind of create a clean line underneath here, just to give that geometry. Because that's one of the things that works really well for avant-garde looks, is geometry, making things very graphic, making them very kind of stark almost in certain places where they normally would not be. Because, you know, normally with conventional beauty makeup, it's all about like being blended and being diffused and being soft, but there's something to be said for makeup looks that kind of break that rule. But yeah, I'm just swapping back and forth between the red and the orange, trying to get a nice smooth gradient there. It's not going to take long because red and orange are right next to each other on the color wheel, so they are complementary colors. They fade into one another very easily because they share a lot of the same tonal qualities. And then from there, I was kind of stuck for a long time as to what to do, because I was like, okay, I've got this cool nose bridge shape. Now what? I'm taking a little bit of a cotton bud here, my black cotton buds, and some makeup remover. This one is Bioderma. And I'm just gonna clean up right around my nose bridge. If there's anything that got a little bit out of hand, and you're just gonna make sure that both sides match. All right, now I'm gonna take this e.l.f. small angled brush, and I'm going to take that same Wine and Dine shade, and I'm going to create like a wing with the shadow. Doesn't have to be perfect, I'm just starting on the outer corner of my lower lash line making small feather light strokes, making sure that those two lines match up. And then we're just going to softly take these shades, there's this Wine and Dine shade, and draw a line back down. And if you have twitchy eyes like I do, and you feel like you're going to blink, pull your brush away, stop what you're doing, blink a couple times, and then go back in. Because frankly, from my experience, I would rather just give myself that chance to twitch and then move back in, rather than trusting myself not to twitch and then twitching anyway. So I'm going to take a little bit of hashtag, and we're going to keep the blend going, and then I'm going to kind of carry it so it's running along the edge of the wing as well, but it's not actually touching it. I've gotten a few questions about deep set eyes and small eyes, and how to make small eyes look bigger, and how to give yourself more lid space, which is a great question because I do not have a lot of lid space, and I like to do these big creative looks, so it can be tough for me to sort of make lid space where there isn't any. But one of the easiest ways I found to create lid space when you don't have a whole lot is to trim the underneath of your brow, pluck, shave, whatever you do, to the underneath of your brow, and just buzz it a little bit and make it thinner this way. I know right now the popular thing to do is to have like bushy, full brows, so you wouldn't want to normally pluck a ton, but I learned that trick from Kevin Aquan in order to give yourself more lid space. Pluck some of your eyebrow hair. Just a little bit, you know, just a couple layers from underneath, and that will give you, you know, acres more lid space to work with. Lower lash line, let's do this. I'm gonna take Wine and Dine, same little angle brush we were using earlier, and I'm just gonna connect the wing at the top down to the bottom. I'm gonna carry this over to just where my iris starts. If you don't know where your iris is, it's the part that has color, so just where that starts, that's where I'm gonna stop this. Then I'm going to take a new shade. I'm going to take Cranberry Splash, the one right next to Wine and Dine. It's basically if Wine and Dine were slightly lighter and shimmery. And I'm going to take that and pull it right next door and pull that most of the rest of the way in. And then without putting any additional of any other colors on it, we're going to go into Ploof, which is the second shade at the top of the palette, which is like a pale pink. And we're just going to pop that in the inner corner, and it just gives that big shimmery pow that as someone with deep set eyes, I like a lot. Especially with that nose bridge, you're going to want, if you've got dark color in the nose bridge, you're going to want a bright color on the inner corner of your eye to open it back up, because that can close your eye off a little bit. We don't want that. And then I wanted that kind of red liner. You know, you could leave it just like that if you want to, or you could use like a burgundy red liner underneath of it. But I wanted kind of somewhere for this liner to start. So I'm taking one of my L'Oreal gel liners, which is where? So I'm gonna take this L'Oreal Infallible 24-hour lacquer liner in Espresso. It's the brown one. And I'm gonna basically mimic the wing, but I'm gonna do it shorter with the brown than I would with the red, because I want the red to be the main focus, and I just want this brown to be somewhere where the wing can launch from. There we go. Now, as you can see with this eye, I went a little bit thick on the liner. It's sort of kind of, I had a clump and I spread it, and it was just like, oh hey, I'm just gonna spread all over the place. So, don't panic, we're just gonna go back in with our teeny tiny angle brush here and some Wine and Dine. And we're just gonna go over the top of this gel just to bring some of that red back to the party. Regardless, even if you go a little too thick on the brown liner or you fuck up somehow, just remember, put your hands on your hips all sassy like and just be like, I meant to do that. And people will totally believe you. Because I mean, it's Avant Garde. Like, There aren't even any perceived rules the way there are in traditional beauty makeup. The main key point here when it comes to wings, and you guys have probably heard me say this in a bunch of my other videos, but it's really true. The key to wings is kind of being comfortable with the idea that they're never going to match perfectly, and knowing when to stop. You know, knowing when to just drop everything and say, that's good enough. And now I'm gonna take a little bit of what's left of that brown liner, and I'm just gonna kind of paint it on the waterline on the outside here. Just a tiny bit. And there you go, guys. There's the shadow look done. Super easy, super simple. It's just, you know, it's a little bit technical, but once you get the technique down, it is quite simple and quite fast. If I weren't having to talk through this, I could probably get these eyes done in a matter of maybe 10 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and do mascara and lashes and the rest of my face and whatnot. Mascara, I'm gonna be using the same thing I always use, my CoverGirl Super Size. False lashes, I'm going to be using Ardell 120s just because it's what I have, and they're kind of subtle enough that the shadow will still peek through. And I'm going to do the rest of my face, and I will be back to put on some lips. Alright guys, I'm back, and I am flawless once again. Just a quick rundown of the things I used. It was kind of a mishmash of a bunch of different stuff, because I've been trying a ton of new things lately, but for contour, I used the draping technique, which I will probably talk over in Faith's Basics, but I used my Lunatic Labs contour palette as always. Mentioned the liner and lashes already. For kind of bronzing and blush, I used the NARS Stephen Klein palette, and I used Laguna as a little bit of a bronze, although this Laguna is not as pigmented as some of the other ones I've run into. And then the blush, I used this one on the front of my cheek, and then I used a different deep colored blush from the Lunatic Labs palette on the back of my cheek. It's a bunch of different experimental stuff. And for my glow today, the highlight I got going on, I used one of my new Anastasia glow kits. Finally gave in to the hype and got these. This is the Sun Dipped one, and I used the shade Summer right here for my glow today. What do we think? What do we think? Are we glowy? Are we glowy? Are we fabulous? I think so. So for lips, there's a couple of different directions you could go with this, really. You could do like a true red, you could do a deeper, more vampy red, you could do a brown, you could do a black, you could do a nude. Really, it's all up to personal preference, and I'm still kind of trying to figure it out. Lately, this is gonna be such a cop-out, but lately I've been loving black lips with red eyes. So anytime I use reddy tones in my eyes, I've been doing black on the lips, and I don't see a reason to stop doing that because it looks fucking good. So I'm going to take Jeffree Star Weirdo, just like I did a few tutorials ago, and I'm gonna put this sucker on my mouth. And there you go, guys. This is the finished look. Went with a fuller lip today, just for funsies, but I really dig how this turned out. I was kind of unsure about it at first, but hey, it all worked out. So, without further ado, let's do some awkward posing. Awkward posing. Looking down. Looking forward. Looking fierce. Thank you guys so much for watching and joining me today. I hope this video was helpful and informative. If it was, there's a button for that. Spank that like button in the butt. You know it deserves it. And if you want to see more from me, subscribe and become a member of the faithful today. I put out new videos every Sunday. Thank you guys so much for watching and joining me today, and I will see you in the next video. Toodles!